good Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Tuesday, August the 28th. So, yeah, it is Tuesday. 2 podcasts in one day.
How do you like that? We were putting it in overtime.
If you haven't seen our other, we just did a podcast about the casting of Beta on The Walking Dead, the main show. So if you are curious as to who it is or, information about it, check out that podcast. It should be up on our channel now. But as for the moment, we are talking about Daniel.
Daniel's son,
from Fear of the Walking Dead. God. Where the hell is Daniel?
Last we saw, he was on top of a crumbling dam.
Definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Ruben Blades plays a great role, and hope I'm saying his name right. But the thing I've seen a lot of commenters say is that he's an extremely talented musician as well. So apparently he's just a multi-talented guy. He can act, he can play music. And I think I've read somewhere that he's off pursuing his musical career right now, but they definitely left it open-ended. Do you think he's ever going to come back, JP?
Man, I think he's already back. We just haven't seen it yet.
He and Morgan's meeting would be awesome because 2 completely different philosophies. You know what I mean? Like Daniel wouldn't have hesitated to have helped Nick kill the guy from the vultures. Daniel does what needs to be done.
Daniel, he's always just kind of been like the angel of death, like in my
He really
eyes
is,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. He's tough. He's tough as nails, and especially after losing his daughter Ophelia, which I think him putting her down was like the saddest thing.
Oh, it's one of the most tragic moments in The Walking Dead, period. Either show, whatever. I mean, yeah.
It was really sad, which a little late, I know, but spoiler warning. But I mean, what did you expect? So where is Daniel? JP, what do you imagine? Imagine in the Fear the Walking Dead universe, where is Daniel right now? Do you think he's dead? Do you think he's just playing some music with some friends? Do you think he's gotten into a new group of people? Because we've already thought we lost Daniel one time.
I know.
And he came back with a vengeance on top of that, man. This dude is like the John Wick of the Fear the Walking Dead world. So where do you imagine in your head that Daniel is?
Well, I mean, we know that Daniel has some psychological issues. He hallucinates.
Absolutely.
He, at one point, his dead wife was coming to him and all these sorts of things.
Which we've seen Rick go through, too.
We have. We absolutely have. And we know that Daniel has sort of a tainted past. He was part of some communist, Central American
regime, and he helped
something.
torture people. It's very similar. I know you didn't watch it, but to viewers that have seen Lost, his background it reminds me of Saeed's from Lost. Saeed was a member of the Republican Guard, and he tortured people and just had a very dark history that he was not proud of. His past haunted him from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. He just could not believe that he was a good person despite all of the good things he had done. He just never really felt like he could make amends for the awful things he had done in his past. And Daniel reminds me a lot of that, except for Daniel isn't necessarily seeking retribution. Daniel is haunted by his past and he's not quite proud of it, but Daniel still will do whatever he's got to do.
Yeah.
Him interrogating Nick back in season 3, trying to get to the bottom of what killed his daughter. Oh man, that was I love that, man. I thought that was such a good moment in that series because you're wondering how is this going to play out? I mean, this is guy Nick Daniel has a past with and would be more inclined to help, but at the same time his little girl's dead and he wants to find out who is responsible, and he's just not someone you want to be against.
Yeah, I love season 3 so much, but the past few episodes, all I can do is rack my mind and think, where is Strand? Where's my Victor? All this kind of stuff.
One of our commenters said that he's with John and Jane.
I saw that. Yeah, interesting theory.
June, not Jane. Sorry, John and June. So where do you think Daniel is in your mind? Fear the Walking Dead world. Where is he?
As we know, Victor and Daniel have a history, not such a pleasant history. I mean,
very up and down.
And like I said, as we also know, Daniel has psychological issues. He sort of sometimes hallucinates people he's lost and all this stuff. And at this point, as you said, he's lost his wife. He's lost his daughter, Ophelia. Basically, I think he tracked them into Texas, found Victor and Luciana in this great big mansion. And, probably bumped his head a little bit as the dam came down. He's reeling from all his loss and devastation and all these changes. Basically, I think he's kidnapped Strand and Luciana, and he's, in his mind, Luciana is his daughter Ophelia, and Strand is his wife. And it's all in his head, of course, and they're like just...
I think you're hallucinating.
No. I think there's
You
validity.
think that's going to happen this season? You think that's going on right now?
I think Morgan and his new band of friends are going to stumble upon some little hacienda, in the Badlands of Oklahoma or something. And yeah, Daniel's going to be playing house with Strand and Luciana.
But I think Luciana's by herself right now. I don't think she's with them. I think Strand is with John and June, but I don't think Luciana's with them.
I think he is that just how? Up.
Okay, well, before that, after the dam, explain how you think how in your mind how he got back to Strand and Luciana.
They never really explained how Daniel survived that. I mean, how Nick survived that, did they? Did they really go into detail on how he survived? They were just like,
I know that Strand saved. Madison saved Strand,
but Strand was in the boat with them,
right?
Like Nick and Daniel were straight up on top of the dam as it's exploding. So they never really went into detail as far as how Nick survived. I mean, it was just he just.
Doesn't matter now.
Yeah, so I'm really wondering if they're going to actually go into detail as far as how Daniel, made it out of there.
I'm sure they will. It'd be really cool if they did kind of like a flashback to when that was happening and brought back Nick just in that flashback, just to have the actor on set, just to do that little bit of a flashback to show how he and Daniel survived.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, when this season premiered, that's all that was on my mind is, how they got the hell off of there.
Right, yeah, it was a very...
I knew there was going to be a time jump, but I figured we'd get some explanation as to how Nick, made it off that dam.
And now I want to know how Daniel made it off the dam. Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I really do. Leave us your thoughts. I know you got people that follow his music career very closely because, again, I haven't actually heard any of his music, and I've been meaning to check it out. But I've seen in the comments from tons of listeners that he's just an extremely talented musician, and kind of like Joe from The Flash. He's like those two characters kind of remind me of each other. I know they're very, very different. Don't get me wrong. It's just something about them that kind of reminds me of each other. They both have that warm yet
fatherly
right.
Presence,
Yeah,
and Daniel's definitely a lot darker of a character.
And it might be just because in real life both are talented musicians. Because Joe can sing his butt off. He actually, I think, was on Rent or something.
Is that right?
I think I might be wrong on that, but I know he was in a musical. And he can sing, and he's also a really good. I think he's a good actor. He makes me love him on The Flash. If something ever happens to Joe, I will just protest that show.
Yeah, that would be awful.
But so where do you think Daniel is? Leave it in the comments. Do you think we're ever going to see him again? Because, in all actuality, we might not ever. Sometimes shows do this. In Parks and Rec, there's a character, and I won't spoil that if you've never started that show, but in Parks and Rec, there is a character that you see a lot of, and then they just literally disappear, and they're never mentioned again. They don't even come back at the end. So, sometimes this happens on shows. Characters just leave, and you don't really have an explanation, and they're never really referenced. But on a show like this, man, you want closure. The show is essentially all about death or trying to avoid death. But so I need to know where Daniel is. So, let us know. Do you think we'll see him again? Where do you think he is? When do you think he's going to come back? And send me a link to his music.
Yeah. Oh, man, it'd be so great to see him and Morgan teaming up.
I just would love it because it's two different ideologies. Daniel is just... I'm not going to go out of my way to kill you if you've done nothing to me, but, if you've crossed me, I'm going to eliminate the threat, whereas Morgan is... I could see some very tense inner turmoil amongst the group, like coming from inside the group between Daniel and Morgan, because Daniel, of course, we know as compared to Nick and Alicia, Daniel's got a strong mindset. He's determined. So, Morgan's not going to be able to sway him into his way of thinking all that easily.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he didn't really sway Nick either. He made him think twice, and then Nick went ahead to stick that guy's body onto antlers.
Yeah.
A very painful way to go, but I think Daniel and Morgan would definitely have some drama. I think that we could even see them have to fight because Morgan will step in his way and try to stop him because Daniel's going to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes with old Daniel.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Listeners always end up like just helping our train of thought. You know what I mean? There are listeners out there that comment on our videos, and they're just so I don't know, on point. They know what, you know what I mean? They know the game. They know way more about this and the behind the scenes than we do.
They generally do. Yeah, we got a smart bunch that listen.
We do. I definitely want to start including listeners. We would love to start maybe taking a call a week or something, like picking a listener and phoning in with them and letting them give us their thoughts and just be a part of the show.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe for all kinds of Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, comic content, amongst other things. We got a lot of things that we want to start doing, movie reviews. So yeah, just lots of things on the horizon, which we've been saying for like 2 years. But I swear it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's just busy. We work in radio, so we're constantly doing this, but professionally. So So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you soon. If nothing else, Thursday for comic readers, we will have our pull list podcast. We'll talk about what comes out and what you should be reading and what we think of what we got.
Hopefully I can afford to get everything on my pull list. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big week.
It's a fifth Wednesday. Usually fifth Wednesdays are easy on the wallet. Less comics are out on the fifth Wednesday. So we'll see. But I'm Justin.
No, and I'm JP.
On the Podcasting Dead.
Yep.